안녕하세요. God Save Birmingham의 크리에이티브 디렉터 차현성입니다.
안녕하세요. 프로덕션 디렉터 신순욱입니다.
이번 영상에서는 올해 1월부터 5월까지 개발한 내용들을 공유드리고자 합니다.
베타 빌드에서는 지난 알파 빌드까지 개발된 주요 기능들의 콘텐츠를 추가하여 본격적으로 생존 게임으로서 필요한 플레이가 가능한 빌드로 발전시켜 나가는 데 집중하였습니다. 그럼 지금부터 어떤 내용들이 더 개발되었는지 하나씩 소개해 드리겠습니다.
Since the last alpha test, God Save Birmingham has received a ton of great feedback from players. Weapons and combat are what you had the most to say about, so we've added content and made improvements to both. We've adjusted the tempo of combat animations, such as the player's weapon attacks and head stomping, and improved animations overall. We've also aimed to reduce friction by enhancing the responsiveness of controls. To compensate for the player's faster combat abilities, we've made zombies a little more durable to keep the overall pace of combat the same. Through these continuous improvements, we're striving to create combat that feels challenging, thrilling, and fitting for a gritty survival game. During this development sprint, we've added one-handed swords and halberds and plan to continue adding more weapons so that players can discover and experiment with various medieval melee tools. We've also added unique animations for each weapon type, plus stats such as damage, stopping power, and durability. Players will need to choose their weapons carefully to optimize their chances of survival. We've also added a shouting action to lure zombies where you want them. Much work has also been done on the physics engine, which is one of God Save Birmingham's most important and unique features. We've enhanced the physics simulations for the grappling system, which governs how zombies grab, cling to, and attempt to drag the player down. We refined the technical mechanisms that control how zombies will attempt to fight the player, and added new ways to break out of grapples, adding depth to close-range combat. We've also made various enhancements to the in-game physics engine. For example, lifting the bottom box in a stack or swinging a chair into zombies will now consume more stamina, giving the system a more realistic feel. You can now place and move ladders freely at any desired location rather than being limited to specific spots. This was surprisingly tricky to develop. To make things as realistic as possible, the system runs physics simulations on ladders even while they're in use, to allow for things like zombies knocking over your ladder while you climb. You'll have to use ladders carefully to avoid injury. In this development sprint, a new feature has been added that allows you to freely move through windows. If a building doors are locked or blocked by a horde, you now have another escape route. Through this sprint, significant improvements have been made to the crafting systems and content. Within God Save Birmingham, you can experience 3 types of advanced crafting: carpentry, blacksmithing, and tailoring, which will each aid you in your survival in unique ways. Unlike standard crafting, advanced crafting will require you to find crafting stations scattered in homes and buildings throughout the town. In this development milestone, we've added a significant amount of content and features related to survival, which is the core of the game. Chickens have been added as player livestock. To raise chickens, you'll have to find or build a chicken coop, after which they'll produce eggs at regular intervals. But you'll have to select a location for your coop carefully to avoid noisy birds attracting unwanted attention from zombies. We've made major developments to the weather system, which is closely tied to survival. Players will now experience conditions including clear, cloudy, light rain, heavy rain, and fog. On foggy days, zombies' visual perception is impaired. On rainy days, low temperatures will require extra attention to maintain body temperature, and new survival actions become possible, such as gathering rain to make drinking water. Time and daily weather patterns will continuously affect the ambient temperature. If the player is exposed to the cold for too long, it will begin to threaten their health. To survive, you'll have to take actions to maintain body temperature, such as dressing properly and warming indoor environments by lighting a fire. Just as starting a fire has become more important, so has handling it carefully. fire can now spread to wooden objects, and the player can suffer burns if they get too close, so you'll have to arrange objects carefully when igniting a fire. We've now added various historically accurate medieval beverages. Alcohol can quench thirst and reduce the character's mental stress. However, excessive drinking can cause the player to become intoxicated, making survival more difficult, so remember to drink in moderation. We've further enhanced the existing sleep system. You can now improve the quality of your sleep by finding or crafting a quality bed. Additionally, you must maintain a warm indoor temperature and create an environment safe from zombies to ensure quality sleep and maintain your character's health. It's now possible to gather fruits and vegetables via foraging. You can collect wild berries from the forest outside town and vegetables from gardens throughout. Foraged plants won't start rotting until they've been picked, so it's up to you to pick them at the right time or process them for long-term preservation. You can now interact with the river flowing through town. You can draw and drink the water, however the water quality is poor and drinking it may cause an upset stomach. Fortunately, the stream water is great for cleaning yourself, making it a solid choice to visit anytime you need a quick wash.
God.
We've developed a new system for generating survival supplies within the village using fixed rules and random generation. We plan to continuously test and refine this system throughout the game's life to ensure players are experiencing challenging and exciting gameplay. We've improved the guide journal system, first introduced during the alpha phase by incorporating feedback from testing results. Designed to provide minimal guidance to players entering the sandbox environment for the first time, the guide journal will function as a light tutorial and the story delivery mechanism. While gameplay would be possible without completing the guide journal quests, it's intended to assist players in acquiring essential game knowledge and adapting to the environment during their initial playthrough. Although it's not yet playable in this build, we've started developing co-op functionality. Once the multiplayer feature is stabilized, we plan to create an opportunity for players to experience it firsthand through an open test.
지난번이 게임의 뼈대를 개별로 만들어내는 기간이었다면 이번 마일스톤에서는 만들어진 뼈대들을 연결짓고 게임 플레이를 디자인하는 작업을 진행했습니다.
개발팀에서는 더 많은 것들을 게임에 담고 선보이고 싶지만 많이 만드는 것보다 잘 만드는 것이 더 중요한 만큼 계속해서 콘텐츠를 만들고 테스트하고 다듬으면서 좋은 게임을 만드는 데 집중하고자 합니다. 그리고 조만간 있을 베타 빌드를 활용한 클로즈 베타 테스트에 많은 참여를 부탁드리겠습니다.